Hello everyone, this is Afzalur Rahman. In our today's class, we are going to discuss about disaccharides and polysaccharides. So first of all, we will discuss about disaccharides. Okay. So what are these disaccharides? We already know these disaccharides are the carbohydrates which upon hydrolysis gives two molecules of same or different monosaccharides. They are called disaccharides. Okay. For example, sucrose. This sucrose upon hydrolysis, acidic hydrolysis, it gives one molecule of glucose and another molecule of fructose. Okay, so it gives two molecules of monosaccharides. Okay, one is glucose, another one is fructose. Okay, so suppose sucrose, this upon hydrolysis gives glucose plus fructose. Okay, and in this disaccharide, in this sucrose, this glucose and fructose, they are linked with an oxide linkage. And this oxide linkage is called glycosidic linkage. This is called glycosidic linkage. Okay. So in this disaccharide, there is in glucose, these two monosaccharides are linked with an oxide linkage, and this oxide linkage is called glycosidic linkage. This is called glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic linkage. Okay. So it will be like that. Here we have oxygen, here we have one bond. So one glucose unit, here we have another fructose unit. Okay, so they are linked, and this linkage is called glycosidic linkage. Okay. Now how this glycosidic linkage or how this oxide bond is formed? Okay, this oxide bond is formed due to the loss of water. Due to the loss of water means when these two monosaccharide units combine, there will be loss of water molecule. There will be loss of water molecules. Okay, and these two molecules will combine. These two monosaccharide molecules will combine. Okay, so there will be development of linkage and glycosidic linkage. So now we are going to discuss about sucrose. Okay, so there are various examples of disaccharide: sucrose, maltose, lactose. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Okay, so first of all, sucrose. Sucrose. We know the molecular formula of the sucrose is C12H22O11. Okay, so this is one disaccharide. And this sucrose, this sucrose is the most abundantly found in plant materials. Okay, so it is widely distributed in plants. Okay, and this sucrose, this upon acidic hydrolysis gives an equimolar mixture of glucose and fructose. Okay, so we know the molecular formula of this sucrose is C12H22O11. Okay, this upon acidic hydrolysis, okay, it will give one molecule of glucose. It is C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Okay, so this is sucrose, and this is D plus glucose, and this one is D minus fructose. Okay, so it will give an equimolar mixture of D plus glucose and D minus fructose. Okay, now these sucrose molecules, they are non-reducing in nature. So these are non-reducing. Why they are non-reducing? Because these sucrose molecules, they cannot reduce tolerance reagent and failing solution. Now question comes, what is tolerance reagent and what is failing solution? This tolerance reagent we already know, we have discussed. This tolerance reagent is ammonical silver nitrate solution, and failing solution is a mixture of aqueous copper sulfide and copper sulfate and sodium potassium tartarate. Sodium potassium tartarate. Okay. So there the sucrose molecules are non-reducing because they cannot reduce Tollens reagent. Tollens or failing solution. Failing solution. They cannot reduce this Tollens reagent or failing solution. That's why they are non-reducing in nature. Now why they cannot reduce this Tollens reagent or failing solution? Because in this sucrose molecule, in this sucrose, that does not contain any free aldehydic or ketonic group. Okay, so they does not contain non-reducing because they does not contain free aldehydic or ketonic group. Aldehydic or ketonic. Okay, ketonic group. That's why they cannot reduce this Tollens or failing solution. That's why they are called non-reducing. That's why they are non-reducing. Okay. Now see, these sucrose molecules are dextrorotatory. These sucrose molecules are dextrorotatory means the sucrose molecule they can rotate the plane polarized light towards right direction, towards clockwise direction. Okay, so that's why they are dextrorotatory. Okay, and their specific rotation is. Here you see, their specific rotation is plus 66.5 degree. Okay, they are dextrorotatory. This plus sign indicates this is dextrorotatory in nature. Okay, and after hydrolysis it gives D plus glucose and D minus fructose. Okay, is the specific rotation of this D plus glucose is plus 52.5 degree. 52.5 degree, and the specific rotation of this D minus fructose is minus 92.4 degree. Minus 92.4 degree. Okay, so here minus means this is levorotatory and here plus means it is dextrorotatory. Okay, now you see in the combined state, this sucrose is dextrorotatory, but after acidic hydrolysis it gives a mixture. One is having dextrorotation, another one is having levorotation. Okay, so in the combined state, you can say that in the combined state, this is dextrorotatory. Okay, and after the hydrolysis it gives a mixture. Okay, now you see in this mixture, okay, the plus isomer there is dextrorotation is 52.5, but minus isomer there is levorotation is 92.4 degree. Okay, that's why the mixture becomes levorotatory because the percentage of levorotation is more than that of dextrorotation. Okay, so after the hydrolysis, before hydrolysis it is dextrorotatory, but after the hydrolysis the optical rotation will change. Okay, it will become levorotatory because the percentage of levorotation is more than that of dextrorotation. Okay, so this mixture becomes levorotatory. Okay, and this conversion from dextrorotatory to levorotatory, this is called inversion. Okay, this change in optical rotation. This change in optical rotation is called inversion. Okay, and this solution mixture is called invert sugar. Okay. This solution mixture, will be called as invert sugar. Okay, now you see in this sucrose molecule, this glucose and fructose units are linked with an oxide linkage called glycosidic linkage. Okay, now how these glucose and fructose molecules are linked? Okay, this glucose glucose and fructose molecules are linked with the carbon 1 and carbon 2 linkage. Carbon 1 and carbon 2 linkage. Okay. This carbon number 1 is the carbon number 1 of glucose. Okay. First carbon of glucose and the second carbon of fructose. Okay. Now we are going to draw the structure. Okay, na? Structure of this sucrose molecule. Okay. So with the help of structure we can discuss it more precisely. Okay. So here you see the structure of this sucrose. Okay, here you see R L R. Here we have CH2 OH. Here we have hydrogen. Okay. Now here you see. Here we have CH2 OH. Here we have CH2 OH. Okay, here we have hydrogen. Okay, so this is glucose unit, this is fructose unit. Okay, and this glucose and fructose unit, they are linked with an oxide linkage called glycosidic linkage. They are called glycosidic. This linkage will be called as glycosidic linkage. Okay. Now here you see, this is the glucose unit, this is the pyranose form, this is the carbon number 1, carbon number 2, like that, and this is the fructose unit. Here this is carbon number 1, carbon number 2. Okay. So this is how these two units are linked. This is the carbon number 1 of this glucose unit and carbon number 2 of this fructose unit. Okay. So this is the structure of fructose, this is the structure of glucose. Okay. So you can draw the structure of this sucrose, or you can take the screenshot. Now the next topic that we are going to discuss, we will discuss another example of this disaccharide, that is maltose. Okay. First of all, we have discussed about sucrose. Next, we will discuss about maltose. Okay. The formula of this maltose is same: C12H22O11. Okay. This is the formula of maltose. Now this maltose molecule, they can be prepared from starch. Okay. This starch upon hydrolysis will give maltose. Okay. So the formula of this starch is C6H10O5 N times. Okay. So this is the formula of starch. This starch upon acidic hydrolysis means in presence of acid. Okay, na? Or in presence of enzyme, okay, it will give maltose. It is C12H22O11. So this is the maltose, and this is starch. And this maltose C12H22O11. This upon hydrolysis, okay, it will give 2 glucose unit, because this is a disaccharide. Okay, so this upon hydrolysis will give 2 glucose units. This is C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Okay, so this is a maltose, and this is glucose, and this is glucose. So it will give 2 glucose units. Okay. Now, in this maltose, these 2 glucose units, these 2 glucose units are linked, okay, with carbon 1 and carbon 4 linkage. They are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4 linkage, and this carbon is the carbon 1 of non-reducing glucose, and carbon 4 is from reducing, is from the reducing glucose. Okay, and this maltose molecule, they are reducing in nature, they are reducing in nature. Okay, why they are reducing? Because they can reduce the tolerance reagent or failing solution, that's why they are reducing. And they contain free aldehydic or aldehyde group. Okay, that's why they can reduce this tolerance or failing solution, that's why they are reducing in nature. So this is all about maltose. Next we are going to discuss about lactose. Next we are going to discuss about lactose. Similarly, the formula of this lactose is C12H22O11. Okay, so this is the formula of lactose. This is a disaccharide. Here you see this lactose upon hydrolysis gives two molecules of glucose and galactose. Okay, one molecule of glucose and one molecule of galactose. Okay, so the formula of this lactose is C12H22O11. Okay, this upon hydrolysis, acidic hydrolysis will give C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Okay, so this is glucose, and this is galactose. Okay, or you can say that this is beta B glucose and this is beta D galactose. Okay, so two units, one is beta D glucose and the other one is beta D galactose. And this lactose is also called milk sugar. This is also called milk sugar, and it is reducing in nature. It is reducing in nature because it can reduce failing solution or tolerance reagent. Okay, so this is lactose. Now, in this lactose molecule, this glucose and galactose, they are linked. Okay, now linkage is this. In this sucrose molecule, this glucose and galactose, they are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4 linkage. Okay, this carbon 1 will be from galactose. Okay, now the first carbon of galactose, and here the fourth carbon from this glucose. Okay, so they will be linked. This linkage is important. Okay, but I am not going to write the structure of this. I have drawn the structure of this sucrose. Okay, and the structure of this maltose and lactose you will draw from your NCERT textbook. Okay, so this is all about lactose. Now see the next topic. This is so far we have discussed about disaccharide. Okay, sucrose, maltose and lactose. Now we are going proceeding towards polysaccharides. Okay, we are proceeding towards polysaccharides. What are these polysaccharides? Now next topic is polysaccharides. Polysaccharides. Okay, now these polysaccharides, we know these are the carbohydrates which upon hydrolysis gives a large number of monosaccharide units. Okay, on hydrolysis gives a large number of monosaccharide units. saccharide units. Okay, so they are called polysaccharides. They are called polysaccharides, and they have the general formula. The general formula of this polysaccharide is C6H10O5 n times. O5 n times. Okay, and the value of this n ranges from 12 to several hundreds. Several hundreds. Okay, they are large molecular mass compounds. Okay. Now these polysaccharides they are non-sugar. Why they are non-sugar? Because they are tasteless. Okay, that's why they are non-sugar. Okay, and these polysaccharides they are insoluble in water. Insoluble in H2O. Insoluble in water. Okay. What are the example? The example of these polysaccharides are starch, cellulose, glycogen. These are some of the examples of polysaccharides. Okay. So now we will be studying about these polysaccharides. Okay. We will discuss about starch. We will discuss about glycogen, cellulose, all this. Okay. So first of all, number one, we will discuss about starch. First of all, we will discuss about starch. Now, what is the main source of this starch? Okay, now the main source of starch. The main source of starch are rice, wheat, potato, okay, banana, etc. Okay, na? So these are some of the examples of starch. Okay. Now, the starch molecules, the two main constituents of the starch are, okay, na? The two main constituents of the starch are amylose and amylopectin. Amylose and amylopectin. Okay. So these are two main constituents. Okay, two main constituent. Okay, two main constituent of starch is amylose and amylopectin. The percentage of this amylose in the starch is about 20%, and the amylopectin is about 80%. Okay, 80%. This amylose is water soluble, but this amylopectin is water insoluble. Now see, both these amylose and amylopectin, okay, these are the polymers of alpha D glucose. Okay, so they are the polymers of. Both of these are the polymers of alpha D plus glucose. Okay. But the number of units vary. Okay, na? In case of amylose, it will contain about 200 to 1000 D plus glucose units. Okay, D plus glucose units. But in case of amylopectin, it will contain about 2000 to 3000 D plus glucose. Okay. And this amylose, this on treatment with iodine, it will form a blue color solution. Will form a blue colored solution. Okay. And this blue colored solution will be called as inclusion complex. It will be called as an inclusion complex. Okay, now. So this amylose on treatment to the iodine will form a blue colored solution, and this blue colored solution is called inclusion complex. But this amylopectin, this does not react with iodine. Okay, it does not form any blue color. Okay. So this is all about the starch, the amylose and amylopectin. One thing you see in case of amylose, okay, this D plus glucosinates, they are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4. In amylopectin also, they are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4. Okay, but this is the simple structure. In amylose, they will be linearly attached. Okay, but in the structure of this amylopectin is complex. Okay, so here this alpha D plus glucose unit will be linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4, and the different chains are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 6. Okay, so here carbon 1 carbon 4 means these glucose units will be linked. Okay, units will be linked, and the chain will be linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4, different chain. Okay, carbon 1 and carbon 6. Now this starch, this is non-reducing in nature. This is non-reducing in nature. Okay, so this is all about starch and this amylose and amylopectin. Okay, so you can take the screenshot. Next we are going to discuss about cellulose. Number 2, okay, cellulose. This cellulose, it is widely distributed in plants. Okay, and it compose about 50% of plant matters. Okay, now. Okay, it is mainly found in wood. Okay, the percentage of cellulose in wood is about 40 to 50%. Okay, and rest being lignin and resin. Okay, the percentage of this cellulose in wood is 40 to 50%, and in cotton, the percentage of this cellulose is about 90 to 95%. Okay. And these cellulose are the polymer of beta glucose. These are the polymer of beta glucose. Okay. And in this beta glucose are linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4 linked. and in this cellulose, the number of this beta glucose ranges from 300 to 3000, 300 to 3000 units, 300 to 3000 units. Okay. Now we are left with our last topic, that is glycogen. This is all about cellulose. Now we are going to discuss about glycogen. Number 3 is glycogen. Okay, and the formula of this glycogen is C6H10O5 N times. Okay, so this is the glycogen, and the formula of this glycogen is this one. Okay, this glycogen is also called animal starch. This is also called animal. This is also called animal starch. Okay, and it is present in liver and muscle. Okay, it is present in liver and muscle. Okay, it is also the polymer of beta D glucose. It is also the polymer of beta D glucose. Okay, and the structure of this glycogen resembles with amylopectin. Okay, amylopectin. But the structure of this glycogen is more complex than amylopectin. Structure of this glucose is more complex than amylopectin. Okay, and in this glycogen, it is the polymer of beta D glucose. Okay, and this beta D glucose are also linked with carbon 1 and carbon 4 linkage. Okay, okay, so this is all about glycogen. Okay, so in our today's class, so far we have discussed about disaccharides and polysaccharides. Okay, first of all we have discussed about disaccharides. Okay, now means the carbohydrate which after hydrolysis gives two molecules of same or different monosaccharides, they are called disaccharides. Okay, after that we have given some examples of disaccharides is sucrose, maltose and lactose. Okay, and after that we have discussed about polysaccharides. This polysaccharide means the carbohydrate which after hydrolysis gives a large number of monosaccharide units. Okay, they are called polysaccharides. And after that we have discussed about some of the examples of these polysaccharides. Okay, for example starch, cellulose and glycogen. Okay, so with this we have successfully completed the first part of our biomolecules chapter. Okay, now this carbohydrate we have now completed. In our next class we will be discussing about proteins, and then we will discuss about nucleic acid. Okay, so for today's class up to this. Okay, so we will meet in our next class. Thanking you all.